And hey guys, King, welcome to another Autism Digest interview, where today we have a very remarkable lady. She's on the spectrum herself, and she started a nonprofit called Autism Career Pathways, which helps autistic individuals get employment opportunities in today's society. Her name is Maisie Soetantyo.
Yes, that's perfect.
Thanks for coming on,
Yeah.
Macy.
Yes, of course. My pleasure, Kaden.
All right. My first question for you is, for those that may not know you or your organization, what's your story in your own words?
I am a very late discovered, diagnosed, multiply divergent autistic person. So it means that in addition to being autistic, I also have ADHD and sensory and auditory processing difficulties. And I just have a different way of thinking through things and learning. And when I was younger, I struggled with learning in school, particularly learning how to read. So I also have number dyslexia. There you go. So that's my story. I was diagnosed 5 years ago, even though I have worked with autistic people for over 30 years. So autism and human communication and watching sports and Korean pop culture are my special interests. So I'm here to advocate for autistic and neurodivergent people, but also my passion is um, working with people who are more impacted by their neurodivergent conditions. So that's why I created Autism Career Pathways about 5 years ago to figure out how to support my adult clients to find a job, and also how we can educate our community, because if the community doesn't have the right mindset, autistic employees will not succeed. As you know, getting a job is very hard today, but there's a lot of shifting mindset that our community, or in general, what I'm saying is, as a community, we can do better.
I
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
agree. Not just for autistic individuals, but for anyone that's searching for a job. The job market is super duper competitive right now. My next question for you is, how does autism help you when you're running a nonprofit?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. When I openly came out as as an autistic person, I think people who knew me, like cousins and school classmates, they were, I think, very shocked. Uh, I think that if I'm not autistic, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing for the past 30 years, because I think autistic people are very curious human beings. That's one of our strengths. We're born as a curious human being, and we stay curious throughout our lives. And we are game changers. We are barrier breakers. So I continue to educate myself. So that's why I had my master's in curriculum design, because I wanted to be able to create courses for people who are connected to autistic and neurodivergent people, and also to educate educators and workplaces, as well as supporting autistic individuals. So there's always something exciting in my brain, and that's part of being autistic. Like, I don't mind starting over and learning um, something new. I think everyone should do that, learn something new every day. And yeah, I think that's my strength as an autistic person. Like, I do things, I create big projects. I choose the hard ways at times. And people always ask me, especially my relatives, why do you choose to live this life in such a difficult way? you know, that's because I want to do what is right. And even if it takes me a year to learn it, even if I fail, I'm going to keep doing it, because I think I'm here to support other human beings, and they are worth it for me to learn each time and do my best. So I think that's my strength as an autistic person. I don't yes, so if I'm not autistic, I would be doing the most boring stuff. Does that answer your question, Kaden?
Yeah, it definitely.
Yeah.
Wait, if I wasn't on the spectrum or who I am, I
Yeah,
probably wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't have the amount of empathy that I do towards certain
correct.
people. So I really like your perspective. My next question for you is,
Uh,
what is something you're proud of over the course of the 5 years you've been running Autism Career Pathways? And we have some action in the chat. Is Autism Career Pathways national at the time of this recording?
okay, can you just ask me one question at a time, because then I forget the other
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I'll
so
go with
I
first.
remember.
Is Autism Career Pathways a national organization, or what's your goal?
Yeah, so it's not just national. It's that my dream is to be able to educate our communities like globally, because of my Asian roots. I was born and raised in Indonesia. So Autism Career Pathways, or ACP, we're launching an online, all on demand workplace training for hiring managers, for business owners, so that's coming up. So we are currently looking for about 10 businesses to help us pilot this all online, on demand training. So I think that's exciting, something new that's exciting that we're launching. We also launch the Better Community certification training for our community businesses and organizations. So for libraries, museums, and for businesses to learn how to be sensory and neurodivergent friendlier business spaces. So these businesses take like the online training, and then we actually consult with them and do a walkthrough of their business and help them personalize what they learn in the course into their store, into their cafes, into their bookstores. It's very popular with bookstores because autistic people love bookstores and libraries, right? Yeah, so that's actually ongoing. So if there are any business owners here, or if you love like a particular store because they're very friendly and kind, send them my way. And we'll certify them, we'll spotlight them online, and that list of certified businesses need to grow. And I need your help to share this about the Better Community certification. I
Yeah,
think
we'll
I need to
definitely be
say,
sure to service. My
yeah.
next question for you is, what is a highlight of your time running the Autism Career Pathways nonprofit that you're proud of? If you had to choose one
Yeah.
specifically.
Oh, one specifically. That's really hard. Um, I think the highlight is to learn alongside other autistic people of all ages, because when it comes to quality of life, and of course, employment is part of having quality of life for some autistic people. So for me to be able to really spotlight autistic owned businesses uh, and just autistic creative merchandise, that is super exciting. We do that every Christmas, we do that during the holidays, to really tell the world that, hey, we are here, we really make cool stuff and we do cool stuff. So I think that's the highlight, is being able to share with the world that uh, uh, employment for autistic people looks very different. One person's job or their business looks very different to the next one, and people are always very shocked, very surprised. Wow, that person make this painting or that painting. And definitely that's a highlight, because as I said before, we are barrier breakers. We are here because we see the world in a different way. And things that we say and things that we make, things that we, yeah, everything that comes out of our minds, it's amazing. And I wish that more people would know about it.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. That's why people like you and me do what we do to eliminate those stigmas and
That's
sell
right.
the work.
That's right. Yeah.
Just because you're neurodivergent doesn't mean you can't do X, Y, and Z thing. My
Yes,
next
definitely.
my next question for you is,
Mhm.
what's your advice to anyone, neurodivergent or not, that's thinking about starting a non-for-profit?
Oh, Mm, running a nonprofit is very hard. It's not easy. In fact, I think the statistic shows that within 2 years, many nonprofits disappear because, especially at the beginning, you need a team of volunteers, and volunteers don't get paid. And I think the consistency is very difficult. So, running a nonprofit, if you don't know or you don't have any experience in doing one, if you haven't volunteered, if you don't know all the behind the scene, the paperwork is incredible. So it's, I mean, I'm very fortunate that my partner, my husband, supports me, and uh, I suggest that you learn first. What does it mean to be the founder of a nonprofit before you start one? So most likely, if you have a mission, you can find a nonprofit or that's already doing something very similar to your mission. So it's, if you don't have any experience, it's better to join an existing nonprofit first instead of starting it. You get very excited about your mission, you start it, and then you don't have any help, and then you start thinking, well, I'm just terrible at this, I'm not a good leader. And no, that's not it, because there's so much in running a nonprofit. You need many people to who are committed, just as committed, as passionate as you are, to help you.
Yeah, that's really good. But I said, I absolutely agree. Not just with a nonprofit, but with anything. If you want to do something, have someone in your corner helping you.
That's right. That's right.
All right, my last question for you is, and this is the $1 million question, as you were saying earlier,
Okay. Go ahead.
how can we improve the odds as a society of autistic individuals getting proper employment in today's job market?
I don't know if you heard me taking a deep sigh, big deep sigh. Okay. So that is the $1 million question, because in today's economy in general, in the US, if we're talking about the US, specifically, getting a job is really, really difficult because we are replaced by AI technology. Many roles are no longer there because the bots and the AI can replace actual people doing those skills, right? So that's really difficult. I mean, I think I if I am talking and supporting an aspiring autistic professionals, for example, I would really suggest that they own, put together their own business, right? That's always the best way as an autistic person, because we do have unique needs, sensory related communication needs. We need more breaks, so our life work balance, it's very different than neurotypical people. So I would say, if you are professional or you're looking for a job to work somewhere, just keep in mind that 9 to 6 expectations for us to show up every day and be consistent in the way that we do our work. A lot of times it's very, very hard because it involves also masking. A lot of autistic employees, they're not able to say, I'm disabled, I'm autistic, I need accommodations, right? So that's just unfortunate. I would say if you are an aspiring autistic professional or job seeker, don't give up, of course, if your dream is to work at Roblox or Minecraft, as a video game creator. Don't give up. But I think you also have to continue with your passion so that you don't feel defeated all the time, because looking for a job, not getting callbacks, and just failing, like going to like 50 interviews in a year, that could be very damaging to your confidence. But if you really also invest in yourself, learning, taking care of your collections, maybe gardening, hanging out with other autistic people, playing Dungeons and Dragons, for example, that feeds your soul. And I think that's really important. So at any age, if you are looking for a job, if you desperately need to make a living, of course, don't give up, keep doing the interviews. But remember, the best part of being autistic is our creativity and determination. So why not create your own business? Do something you like and control all the variables. That's always the best way. So I've done that as a consultant, a coach for over 30 years, because I tried working for a clinic. Even though I made it to the top, it fell apart for me because I didn't know that I needed accommodations. So then I left and just started over and just trying to explore, what do I really love doing? I love working with autistic kids. I love doing that. So to J, that's the element that I still have, right? I'm advocating for autistic people. I still work with autistic humans because I love that part. That feeds my soul. So I think those are important tips, I hope, for autistic job seekers or people who are graduating college and they want to be speech therapists. And, so ask yourself, is working full time somewhere where you have to mask and not be yourself because everyone around you is neurotypical, is it really the best for you, right? So it's okay to start slow. It's okay to start slow. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's definitely a really good perspective. A lot of college students are going to be out most likely with all kinds of debt,
Yeah.
specifically student loan debt, not knowing where exactly they're going to work or what the future holds for them. So
Yeah.
I really like your perspective of starting your own business nowadays. And this is the really good thing about today's job market. You don't have to do the stereotypical 9-to-5 job that you see in the movies anymore. You can do
not at all.
anything you want, really.
Yeah. So my day is, there are days that I have to see clients. So I drive to see my clients. And then I need a break. I need, like, if I have to drive the next day, I have to take it easy because driving takes a lot out of me, so there are times when I start doing work again at 8 o'clock after dinner, for example. So I have to break it up, so I think those things are important. Keep in mind for aspiring autistic professionals, because a lot of times we're really tough on ourselves. And we blame ourselves for not being able to find a job or to do like an assignment properly. It's not us. It doesn't matter how brilliant your mind is, if you can't be yourself at work and you don't feel safe enough to say, hey, what's the due date, or can I audio record our meeting, it's gonna fall apart. That's what happened to me. Brilliant autistic minds without support and the feeling of safety and having allies at work, it's going to fall apart. And that's why I created ACP. And for autistic job seekers or business owners who will be listening to this interview with Kaden, if you have a business, connect with me. let's work together. Use my platforms to get your business out there, because that's why I created, the social media platforms. It's for us to really be spotlighted, tell the world that we're here.
Yeah, and look where we are now because of that. Anyway, that's going to do it for this interview, guys. Thank you so much to Maisie for coming on, sharing her perspective, and for sharing her organization story. If you guys want to see more amazing interviews, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Autism Digest channel. Check out our audio recordings of these interviews on our Spotify, and check out our Maisie by going to autismdigest.com. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.